Chosen one, now is the time we'll move you into power. You are the one. There are moments when the universe shifts in your favor, moments when silence is shattered, the unseen becomes visible, and the waiting finally makes sense. This, right here, is one of those moments. Everything you've been through, every delay, every whisper of doubt, every night when you wondered if anyone could see your light, was preparing you for what's unfolding now. You didn't just stumble onto this video. Before we dive deeper, I want to invite you to stay with me until the end of this message. Something within it is for you. Yes, you. I encourage you to write your warmest wishes and write 99 and 777 in the comments. Let the energy you carry bless someone else reading. Because this is more than just a video. It's a chapter of wishes coming true and a current of power moving through the collective soul. Your presence here is part of that wave. Let's move together. Now listen, chosen one, there's a rising happening, and it's not random. You've been called to power, but not the kind of power the world glorifies. Not loud, boastful control or material dominance. This is the power of alignment. The power of knowing who you are, and more importantly, knowing whose timing you move with. This is the moment you're being activated, re-centered, and repositioned into the purpose that has been whispering in your spirit since you were born. There's a reason you felt out of place, a reason why you often felt unseen, even when you gave your all. Because your calling was never about fitting in. You were designed to stand out. You were crafted to carry a frequency that can't be mimicked or muted. And now, that frequency is resonating louder than ever. You're not behind schedule. You're right on time. The shift that's taking place now is divine. It's not noisy, but it's undeniable. It's not rushed, but it's unstoppable. The old patterns that kept you small are crumbling. The old expectations others placed on you are losing their grip. The opinions that once shaped your identity no longer hold weight. Because now is the time when you remember you are the one who breaks cycles, the one who walks through closed doors with a key only your spirit knows how to use, the one who stands in rooms your ancestors could only dream of. You carry their dreams in your DNA, and their courage is what brought you here. Every step you take from this point forward is legacy building. It is sacred. It is chosen. You may not have always felt ready, but readiness has never been the requirement. Willingness is. And you, chosen one, have stayed willing. Willing to heal when it hurt. Willing to rise when it would have been easier to retreat. Willing to believe again when life gave you every reason not to. And for that, heaven is responding. Power is shifting. The gates are opening. You are about to witness the full unveiling of why it had to happen the way it did. The delays, the detours, the closed doors. They weren't punishments. They were preparations. If the wrong people had applauded you too soon, you would have built your confidence on false ground. If the wrong opportunities had come, they would have buried your potential. But because you waited, because you surrendered, because you trusted the whisper more than the noise, now is the time. Everything is aligning. The spiritual contracts you made before you came here are activating. The doors are not just opening, they are being held open. The room you once peered into from the outside, you are being ushered in, and not as a visitor, as a leader, as the one who belongs. Don't doubt the pace. Don't question the form. Don't look to your left or your right to measure what's happening. What's happening for you is custom built. It was tailored by divinity, stitched with the threads of your journey. This isn't a copy-paste blessing. This is original. This is yours. The power moving into your life now will not corrupt you. It will confirm you. It will affirm what your spirit has always known, that you were chosen for more than survival. You were chosen to lead, to rise, to shine. It's okay if you're scared. Elevation often feels like falling until you realize you're soaring. Let the fear be present, but don't let it lead. The same source that brought you this far will carry you the rest of the way. You don't have to perform. You just have to remain. Stay connected. Stay grounded. Stay open. Because now, the orchestration of your destiny is playing louder. And every note is tuned to your timeline. You're not missing it. You are it. There is something deeply sacred about what's happening in this season of your life. You may not see all the details, but you can feel the vibration rising within you, a sense of knowing, a surge of presence. It doesn't announce itself with lightning or fanfare, yet it shifts the entire landscape of your inner world. That's power, quiet power, the kind that doesn't beg to be seen, because it already knows it's meant to be followed. You were never meant to beg for a seat at the table. You are the table. You are the invitation. You are the reason a new structure is being built. The systems that once ignored you are being restructured in your favor. The energy that once resisted you is being pulled into your orbit. And it's not because you changed who you were. It's because you finally embraced who you've always been. When the time is right, the winds shift. And no matter how many walls stood in your way before, they suddenly weaken. That's what is happening now. This isn't about proving yourself anymore. This is about embodying the truth that already lives in your bones. You're not here to seek validation. You're here to command space. And here's what they never told you. Power isn't loud. Power doesn't scream. Power doesn't need applause. True power is felt. It walks into a room and shifts the energy without speaking a word. That's who you are becoming now. A presence, an answer, a force. The moment you decided to stop shrinking for comfort, you began expanding into your calling. You were never meant to fit in cages built by people who never understood the magnitude of your essence. You were designed to outgrow expectations, rise beyond assumptions, and shock every system that tried to contain your greatness. That's why this moment is so divine. Because your expansion can no longer be postponed. You've been prepared in silence, sharpened in solitude, trained in trial. And now, the emergence is inevitable. You're not just stepping forward, you're stepping into alignment, into authority, into territory that only responds to those who know who they are. That's why everything feels different now. The same environments that once suffocated you no longer carry weight. The same conversations that once consumed you now feel beneath your frequency, because you're moving, and not just forward, upward. This is an ascension, chosen one, a holy upgrade. You're not just entering a new chapter, you're becoming the author. You are no longer available for energy that doesn't match your mission. You are no longer entertaining patterns that dim your power. You are no longer delaying your own rise just to make others comfortable. That era is over. You are not apologizing for your brilliance. You are not shrinking to protect fragile egos. You are not hiding what was heaven made. Because something inside you has shifted. You've tasted power, and it's not about ego, it's about essence. It's about being so aligned with your higher self that your very breath becomes a declaration, that your very presence becomes a prophecy, that your very existence becomes an act of liberation for others to follow. You are not here by mistake. You were divinely positioned, and every no was making room for the yes that aligns with your identity. Every detour was preparing the soil for a destiny that couldn't be rushed. Every heartbreak was chiseling the compassion you now carry in your voice. And every dark night was building the resilience you radiate now in your light. Chosen one, hear this. You do not need to hustle for divine placement. What's meant for you will locate you when your frequency matches your future. And that time, this time, is now. Your influence will no longer be denied. Your name will no longer be overlooked. Your heart will no longer be mishandled. Because the universe has watched you walk with integrity, even when no one was watching. And now it's your time. Time for your voice to echo where it was once silenced. Time for your gifts to shine where they were once hidden. Time for your power to emerge where it was once suppressed. This is not a test. This is a transfer. From waiting to walking. From surviving to soaring. From questioning to commanding. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Your light is your evidence. Your truth is your strategy. Your soul is your compass. And the path ahead is opening because you are finally walking with full permission. Permission to take up space. Permission to speak with boldness. Permission to live unedited. The world doesn't need a watered-down version of you. The world needs you, fully, unfiltered, unshaken, unstoppable. Because when a chosen one rises, the atmosphere rearranges, realities bend, people feel it in their spirit. Things begin to align, not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. You become a signal, a frequency, a portal of power. And the truth is, you were always the one. You didn't miss the moment. You are the moment. You are stepping into a realm where your very essence becomes undeniable. It's no longer about efforting. It's about embodying. You no longer chase energy. You attract it. You no longer question your impact. You feel it. You no longer wonder if you're ready. You realize readiness has always lived inside your being. Chosen one, it's not just that your time has come. It's that your energy has matured. Your capacity has deepened. Your spirit has evolved. You now walk in rooms not with the need to be accepted, but with the awareness that your presence is the upgrade. You've become the alignment you once sought. The lessons you've endured weren't obstacles. They were initiations. They were invitations into a deeper level of self-mastery. When life stripped you down, it wasn't to shame you. It was to show you what could never be taken from you. Your strength, your light, your divine code. And that code is now being unlocked. The shift is internal before it's external. You feel the clarity settling into your chest. You sense the knowing rising in your bones. You're not looking for signs anymore. You are the sign. You're not waiting for green lights. You are the momentum. Every part of you that once questioned if you were worthy of this, release it. Because you wouldn't be standing on the edge of power if you weren't designed to hold it. And not just hold it, expand it, grow it, steward it in a way the world has never seen before. You are not stepping into power to dominate. You are stepping into power to heal, to lead with compassion, to serve with purity, to disrupt systems that only benefit a few and build new ones that bless the many. You are stepping into power to create ripple effects of truth, of love, of liberation. This is the energy that cannot be contained. You are not being promoted by people. You're being positioned by purpose. And that kind of elevation doesn't need announcements. It arrives quietly, confidently, unshakably. Your anointing is louder than the doubt that tries to whisper. Your path is clearer than the fog they tried to place around you. Your intuition is sharper than the distractions sent to derail you. You see now. You feel now. You know now. This is not just another moment. This is the moment where everything that tried to hold you back loses its grip. The chains are gone. The limitations are gone. The false narratives, they collapse under the weight of your truth, because your soul remembers who you are. And finally, so do you. There's a fire in your belly that can't be extinguished. There's a vision in your heart that won't let you go. And there's a force behind you that is not letting you return to what you've outgrown. You've outgrown fear disguised as caution. You've outgrown roles that minimized your worth. You've outgrown timelines that didn't match your truth. You've outgrown language that played small. Because power is now your language. Destiny is now your dialect. And as you speak, you awaken others. Not because you try to, but because your voice carries freedom. Your eyes carry remembrance. Your walk carries revolution. There's a certain weight to your presence now, a sacred heaviness, not the kind that burdens, but the kind that anchors. You no longer drift. You don't sway with the opinions of others. You stand. You move with certainty. You embody clarity. You've become the answer to prayers people haven't even spoken yet. You've become the manifestation of divine patience. You've become the proof that alignment is real, that waiting is not wasted, and that power, when built in silence, erupts with glory. You're not waiting for someone to give you permission to shine. The sun doesn't ask for approval to rise. It just rises. You're rising now, not just for yourself, but for generations. You are restoring what was lost, reclaiming what was stolen, rebuilding what was broken. The energy around you is not just elevating, it's announcing. You are a walking declaration of hope, of redemption, of what it looks like when a soul remembers its assignment. You're not here to survive cycles. You're here to complete them, to disrupt dysfunction, to end patterns of fear and replace them with truth. You're here to plant seeds where others saw only drought. This isn't about luck. It's about alignment. It's about divinity. It's about the fact that your life is now a map for others to follow home. And when they look at you, they'll see more than a person. They'll see what's possible. They'll see what obedience looks like. They'll see what resilience becomes when it partners with divine timing. This is what power looks like. Quiet, focused, unbothered, unshakable. You are no longer proving. You are producing. And it's only the beginning. There is a spiritual current guiding your every step now. You've entered a flow that cannot be interfered with because it was not created by man. It was written for you before you took your first breath. This moment you're living in, it's not coincidence, it's choreography. Everything is aligning with precision because the time has come for you to operate in your full capacity. You are no longer in the stage of preparation. You are in the stage of execution. Everything that once felt like delay was actually development. Every moment of obscurity was a greenhouse, cultivating what the spotlight could never grow. The soil that once covered you was never meant to bury you. It was meant to root you. And now, those roots are producing something the world cannot ignore. You're blooming without permission. You're rising without announcement. You are becoming without blueprint, because you are the blueprint. This level of power requires presence. It demands integrity. It calls for responsibility. You're not being elevated for the sake of status. You're being entrusted, trusted with energy, trusted with vision, trusted with influence. And not because you asked for it, but because your soul proved ready for it. When you walk into rooms now, they will feel different. The energy will adjust. The atmosphere will respond. You'll no longer have to explain yourself. You'll be understood spiritually before a word leaves your mouth. Because the vibration you carry is recognizable to those attuned to divine order. There's no turning back now. You've crossed into territory that can't be undone. You've stepped into a level where playing small is no longer an option. Not because you crave attention, but because you carry assignment. And that assignment is waking up within you like a sleeping giant. You feel it in the way your priorities have changed. You feel it in the silence that now brings clarity instead of fear. You feel it in your bones, this unshakable knowing that what you carry is no longer for later. It's for now. You are the one who was sent to break stagnation. You are the one who carries the key to doors that remained shut for generations. You are the one whose very breath recalibrates the atmosphere. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. You're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to call the crowd into consciousness. You're not here to copy patterns. You're here to create new ones. You're not here to echo what's already been said. You're here to speak what has never been spoken. This kind of power can't be taught. It has to be awakened. And now it has been. You've stepped into divine memory. You're remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You're remembering the calling that pulsed in your spirit before life taught you how to shrink. You're remembering the version of you that was never afraid, never doubted, never second-guessed the fire inside. And as you remember, everything around you will begin to reflect that remembrance. Your relationships will shift. Your environment will shift. Your choices will evolve. Not because you're trying to change, but because you are changed. You no longer move out of obligation. You move out of alignment. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You protect what fuels you. You no longer give explanations. You give examples. You've become the standard now. You've become the template. People will look at your journey not because it was perfect, but because it was real, because it was refined, because it was guided by something higher. You didn't need to fight for this level. You needed to surrender, and you did. That's why the doors are opening now, not because of force, but because of flow. You're in the right stream. The current is carrying you. All you have to do is remain in tune. Your next level isn't about proving your worth. It's about protecting your peace. Your next level isn't about acquiring more. It's about aligning deeper. Your next level isn't about visibility. It's about vibrational authority. People will feel your power long before they understand it. Don't waste time explaining it to those not meant to grasp it. You weren't designed to be understood. You were designed to be experienced. And the right souls will recognize you. They'll find you. They'll resonate with you. Not because you tried, but because you remembered. You are not chasing anymore. You are choosing. And in that choosing, you step into what was always yours. You become the mirror that reminds others of their own divinity. You become the signal that leads others home. You become the shift that ushers in change, quietly, powerfully, unshakably. You're not waiting for destiny anymore. You're walking in it. The air around you has changed. Can you feel it? The world may look the same, but it doesn't feel the same because you're no longer the version of yourself that used to just survive. You're stepping differently. You're thinking differently. You're choosing differently. And that shift isn't subtle, it's seismic. This is what becoming looks like. Not a loud announcement, but a quiet unfolding. Not a crash of lightning, but a steady ignition. You are lit from within now. There is a fire that no one gave you, and therefore no one can take away. This is yours, sacred, earned, eternal. Your power is no longer conditional. It's no longer dependent on who sees you, who agrees with you, or who celebrates you. Because you've reached a frequency where external validation is irrelevant. You're operating from a place of internal truth, and that is the highest currency of all. There was a time when you dimmed your light to keep the peace, a time when you questioned your instincts to avoid being misunderstood, a time when you watered yourself down to be digestible for people who never even deserved a taste of your essence. But that time is over. This is not arrogance, it's awareness. This is not superiority, it's sovereignty. And this new level of sovereignty means you're no longer trying to explain. You're becoming to people committed to misunderstanding your origin. You are not their assignment. You are your own. Let the world adjust. Let them feel the silence you've chosen. Let them observe the movement you make, without noise, without need, without explanation. Because the most powerful transformations don't come with fanfare, they come with focus. This is the season where you stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for confirmation. You stop needing a committee to validate your decision. Because deep down, your soul has already signed the contract. The agreement is clear. The path is active. And your role is simple. Walk in it. You walk with the ancestors who dreamed of this day. You walk with the guidance of every challenge that tried to break you. You walk with the memory of your former self, thanking them for surviving just long enough for you to thrive. You carry all of it now, and you carry it well. You don't have to try to be different. You are different. Your aura is refined. Your thoughts are elevated. Your boundaries are sacred. And your silence speaks more than any speech ever could. People may not understand your distance, but it's not distance, it's direction. You're not avoiding anyone. You're aligning with your path. There's a difference, and that difference is your strength. You don't owe your old self an apology for outgrowing what once kept you safe. Growth means you no longer confuse safety with stagnation. Growth means you no longer trade peace for proximity. Growth means you've mastered the art of letting go before life has to tear it from your hands. There's a quiet revolution taking place within you. Your thoughts are sharper. Your heart is clearer. Your body feels lighter, not because everything is perfect, but because you've stopped carrying what was never yours. That is power, clean, focused, pure. Now you're creating from essence. You're choosing from wisdom. You're listening to your spirit, not your fear. And in doing so, you're becoming what no one thought was possible. Not even you. Because there's a version of you walking now that your former self could barely imagine. And that version is magnetic. Not because it tries, but because it simply is. You're now the type of energy that doesn't compete. You command. You don't chase. You attract. You don't react. You respond with presence and grace. You've trained for this frequency through hardship, heartbreak, and holy alignment. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's not coincidence. It's clarity. It's code. It's purpose, waking up on schedule. You're not concerned about the spotlight. You are the light. You're not begging to be heard. Your silence echoes louder than noise. You're not hoping for support. You are the support others have prayed for. And that kind of power doesn't flaunt. It flows. It flows through your voice, through your stillness, through your decisions. It flows through your presence, through your posture, through your peace. It flows through the way you walk into every room, not trying to be something, but remembering that you've always been everything. You're no longer trying to heal for others. You're healing for yourself. You're not doing it to be seen. You're doing it to see more clearly, more deeply, more honestly. Because now you understand. Power is vision. And you finally see yourself. You see the depth, the worth, the mission, the brilliance that was always there, buried under layers of noise and expectation. Now it's surfacing. Now it's becoming. Now it's moving through you like a current that can't be blocked. This is what divine timing feels like. It's not a moment. It's a movement. It's not a coincidence. It's a calibration. And you are calibrated now. You're operating at full capacity. No more shrinkage. No more delays. No more dimming. Only rising. Everything you've endured has brought you to this moment. Not to punish you, not to break you, but to prepare you for a realm of power that could never have been reached through comfort alone. The pressure you felt was proof of the purpose that was forming in silence. The isolation you felt was the incubation of destiny, and the pain you endured was shaping the foundation of the power you now stand in. You've emerged from the fire, not burned, but branded, marked by growth, signed by spirit, stamped with clarity. This is your authority, the kind no institution can hand you and no opposition can strip from you. It's etched into your soul, and now the world will feel it when you walk into every space. You were never just trying to make it through. You were becoming the version of you that nothing could shake. And now you're standing at the beginning of everything that was waiting for your yes. Not the kind of yes that pleases others, but the one that surrenders to your higher path. That moment is here. That version of you is active. No more looking back. No more asking for signs. You are the sign. You are the moment they will talk about. You are the shift they will remember. You are the one who kept going when no one understood the vision you carried. And now, the vision is speaking for itself. Your glow isn't arrogance. It's the evidence of your transformation. Your peace isn't passivity. It's your weapon. Your calm isn't weakness. It's your secret strength. You've reached a level of power that doesn't require loudness to be respected. It simply is. From this point forward, your path will look different. You won't resonate with noise. You won't respond to distraction. You won't need to chase validation. The only thing you will be guided by is alignment. And alignment is always louder than applause. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to follow anyone else's formula. You are the formula. You are the frequency. And that frequency is rising. Your steps are no longer being taken in fear. They're being taken in full confidence of who you are. Not the edited version. Not the acceptable version. The real version. The version that holds wisdom in their voice and fire in their eyes. The version that no longer explains their peace. The version that is done surviving and now fully creating. You're now in the realm of fulfillment. Not fantasy, fulfillment. A place where what you believe actually begins to manifest. Where what you feel becomes real. Where what you imagine begins to walk toward you because you finally stopped running from your own reflection. You are the evidence of what it means to rise after being forgotten, to rebuild after being broken, to remember who you are after being told to forget. And your presence now will shift generations. Your choices now will bless bloodlines. Your words now will carry weight that echoes far beyond your own lifetime. So walk. Walk with assurance. Walk with presence. Walk like someone who knows they've been chosen. Not for privilege, but for purpose. You were selected not to impress the world, but to impact it. And you don't have to force it. You simply have to be it. Be the calm. Be the clarity. Be the courage. Be the continuation of every soul that came before you and never got the chance to reach this level. Be the confirmation that light always wins, that alignment always rewards, and that truth always finds its way to the surface. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lost. You are right on time and right on target. Let the world adjust. You are not waiting for power. You are the power. And it's your time. Fully, finally, undeniably. Now go. Be what you were always meant to be. Because you are the one. There's something different about you now. Not everyone will be able to name it, but they'll feel it. They'll notice it in the way you move without second guessing. In the way you speak with full breath. In the way you show up not to take space, but to expand it. What they're witnessing is not ego. It's embodiment. You've been poured into by the universe itself. And now you overflow. It's not just your time. It's your turn. You're not next. You're now. That inner power is no longer dormant. It's awake, alert, activated, and it will not be silenced ever again. Every place you step into from this day forward will either rise to meet you or fall away. You're no longer staying where your light isn't honored. You're no longer explaining yourself to energies committed to confusion. You're no longer dimming to be digestible. You're here to be divine. The echo of your spirit is louder than the doubt of your past. The alignment you walk in now can't be undone by past mistakes. You've been refined. You've been renewed. You've been recalibrated to function at higher frequencies. And because of that, the things that once attracted you will no longer resonate. The people you once clung to will feel foreign. Not because they changed, but because you did. This isn't a phase. This is a permanent elevation. You didn't stumble into this level. You earned this through heartbreak, through healing, through holding on when you wanted to let go, through rising when you barely had the strength to crawl, through trusting whispers no one else could hear. And now, you carry that proof. You walk with that knowing. You speak from that center. You radiate from that depth. Because you're not playing a role anymore. You are the reality. You've become the thing you used to pray for. This is what power with purpose feels like. It doesn't demand. It doesn't chase. It doesn't shrink. It arrives. It stabilizes. It reigns with peace. You're not being moved into power just for yourself. You're being moved so others can move too. You are the ripple, the first domino, the spark that lights the lineage. You're carrying liberation in your posture, freedom in your presence, and miracles in your momentum. Let your footsteps be heavy with clarity. Let your boundaries be rooted in peace. Let your silence be sacred, and your words be strategy. You no longer react. You respond. You no longer prove. You produce. Because now, everything flows differently through you. Decisions flow through discernment. Actions flow through alignment. Opportunities flow through attraction. And influence flows through integrity. You are who you've been waiting for. You are the answered prayer. You are the chosen frequency. You're not moving to impress. You're moving to transform. And everywhere you go, eyes will shift. Energies will rise. People will pause. Not because of what you're doing, but because of who you are being. You're being the shift, the evidence, the walking embodiment of what happens when soul, surrender, and divine timing meet in harmony. So speak only when your words are infused with truth. Walk only when your steps are guided by alignment. Share only when your heart is full. Give only when it overflows. This is the way of the chosen one. The pace is slower but sacred. The path is narrower but clear. The process is quieter but permanent. This is power with breath, power with soul, power with divine intelligence, power that is not about control, but contribution. You're not here to conquer, you're here to call others into remembrance, into healing, into strength, into the version of themselves that's been buried under shame and silence. You are a revealer, a restorer, a reflector of light. That's why you were chosen. That's why you couldn't quit. That's why you couldn't hide for long. You were marked for visibility, not for performance, but for purpose. Your visibility is not vanity. It's alignment. It's divine strategy. Because when they see you, they remember what's possible. When they hear you, they recognize their own voice. When they witness you, they realize the calling on their life can't be cancelled by failure. You've become a portal, a way through, a sacred example. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. Because you stayed when others left. Because you healed in places where others hardened. Because you remained soft in a world that told you softness was weakness. But your softness became your strength. Your silence became your sword. Your waiting became your witness. Your faith became your fuel. And now, you are unstoppable. Not because of force, but because of flow. Let them talk, let them watch, let them wonder. You've already been chosen. The power has already moved. The doors have already opened. And your name has already been written into the story. You are not waiting for destiny to find you. You are the one destiny has been waiting for.